I don't know. I've been more opinionated lately. I don't know what's going on with me. I don't know. Technically, this whole thing was supposed to be a part of a. It's like a podcast, the A&T podcast, a nigga talking podcast. That's what this was supposed to be. Like 5 or so years ago, because I would just get so frustrated. I'd be talking to people. It is 2026 when it is coming out. So if you could think about 5 years ago, 5 or so years ago, the type of discourse that would be happening, that would be so frustrating. But yeah, no, I just get frustrated. I just want to rant to people because I had no one to talk to. You know what I mean? Like, even if you go, like, it's like, it's a privilege to be able to have. You don't really have that no more. Unless you're like on a college campus and like at a debate club or something of this nature where you could just kind of go somewhere and talk about ideas, talk about ideologies, you know, debate those, have discourse and everything like this. You know what I mean? That's kind of, you know, overlooked. Like that's a real privilege to have. Not everyone just has that. Most people have their family members, the people around them, their friend groups, and everything like that. And usually, that type of conversation isn't like uh, encouraged. It's usually actually, especially nowadays, detrimental to those relationships, to those structures, and everything like this. You know what I mean? But I'll just get upset and oh, you go online. If you go on these Discord, we all know that you can't just go online. I'm trying to find y'all. If y'all know one place, like let me know. Like find me a Discord or some shit, dog. Like where you could go and talk to like sane individuals. Because that's kind of the theme of the day. That's what I want to get on here and kind of talk about. I think in this new year, not to date it, but in the big 2-6, I think moving forward, I'm just gonna be on a different type of timing. I think it's really time to not give any time towards disingenuous people. And it sounds really easy saying that. Like everyone's like, yeah, no, of course, but no, it's not just disingenuous. I don't think completely gets across what I'm getting at here. It's like it's people who are too far gone, people who are not who are blatantly unwilling to try and seek truth. And once again, it sounds like, yeah, no, of course everyone's seeking truth, but it's like, really, if you get what I'm really interested in is like those late night, you in the VC, you hanging out with some niggas, maybe you out and about somewhere, it's late night, it's 2, 3, 4 a.m., y'all chilling, you might be a little under the influence, you might be a little inebriated, y'all tired, y'all just talking. Like that's the most honest type of conversation you could ever have with one or many people, you know what I mean, one or several people. That's the most honest type of conversation. That's the type of conversation I'm like really interested in. That's why I would used to when I was much younger. Uh, like befriend people I viewed as radical, that I viewed as radical. You know what I mean? Not even like I'm interested in their ideas, but more so I'm interested in a way where I'm trying to figure out, I'm trying to get to the root of the ideas. So I would befriend them. I would become friendly with them in the hopes that I could have like that late night 3 a.m. type of conversation and really get something out of them. You know what I mean? Didn't really work. Little did I know, at the time I would view it as okay. Maybe I didn't try. I didn't use the right techniques. I didn't. Maybe they just don't fuck with me. Maybe what I mean. But like at the end of the day, you know, not everybody is motivated by the same things. Not everyone has the same goals like in life when it comes to ideology. You know what I mean? Politics, religion, any of these things, just ideas. Like people don't have the same goals, you know what I mean? So they're not viewing talking to you in the same way that you might be viewing talking to them. What I'm kind of alluding to is there are radical people. My whole it would see what feels like my whole politically aware life, I've been trying to, you know, fight against radicalism. You know what I mean? trying to fight ostracization, polarization, balkanization. You know what I mean? I'm trying to. I'm trying. I'm all about community. You know what I mean? I'm all about what makes us similar. What can we fight together? What can we agree on? What can we fight for? When we both agree to fight for. Everyone's always talking about, oh, you like autistic online nigga. You know, the World War II nigga when they go and take a class on World War II, and it's more about just like tanks and guns and all this type of shit. They actually gotta learn about motherfucker like politics and the particulars and strategies and all this type of shit. Like there's more to World War II than just the tanks and the guns and the wars and shit like that. The caliber of bullet, you know what I mean? Uh, the uniform, you know what I mean? Like a lot of people look at it like it's a real life video game because it kind of is. You grew up playing these video games and everything like that. And World War II, World War I is a huge setting. It's a very common setting. How many motherfucking video games can you think of where it's on like some Civil War shit, where it's on some French Revolution shit? Like, you know what I mean? It wouldn't be nearly as interesting to shoot a nigga and then it takes like fucking 45 seconds to reload. Regardless, the point is, it's like, that's my problem why I can't do these, because I be talking, then I say some shit, then I can't come back to it. It's the weave. You know what I mean? The Trump weave, I can't weave it back together. I struggle with that. Uh, you know, I've been fighting against this ostracization division is seemingly like my whole life. You know what I mean? Like that's what I know for a fact is not gonna get nobody nowhere. I feel like that's the root of all problems, is people just being divided. If we could just be honest with each other, if we could just be, you know, if we could try and seek truth, if people would be genuine, things would be a lot easier. Even when it comes to policy. Okay, we want free healthcare. Why don't y'all want free healthcare? Okay, it'll raise taxes. Okay, why is that? Why are you afraid of more taxes if you're gonna get more out of it? Well, I don't trust niggas. I don't trust the same government that handles the fucking DMV to handle my healthcare. I'd rather, even if I have to pay more, I'd rather know that I at least have the options and I can go out and about and, you know what I mean, find the doctors that I like and everything like that. I don't want them to have control on my little well-being and shit like that. It's like, all right, well, here's why that might not be. There's countries like Korea and everything like that that have a public option. So at least everyone has option to something, and you can still go the private route. They do it like that in Canada as well. You can have an honest conversation about it. You could talk about, all right, the amount of taxes. Why not reform the way we even do taxes? I'm for, maybe I'm dumb. Why don't we crowdsource, at least at a local level, when it comes to taxes? Like, everyone has to pay whatever percentage or whatever, but you can choose, maybe by default. You know what I mean? Like you could choose a percentage of it. You get to choose where it goes. Maybe they take a certain percentage of it to go to you know what I mean, like stuff that's necessary, that's absolutely necessary. But then everything else, the majority of it, I would argue, you should get to choose. Hey, do you want it to go towards like sidewalks? Do you want it to go to like this monument? Do you want it to go to like this museum, to this library? Do you like, you choose where you get to go? If you're gonna take your money, you might as well choose where you want it to go. Obviously, this voting shit, voting for representatives and shit like that, isn't motherfucking working the way niggas wanted to. Why not have a more direct thing? They have like these ballot measures, direct ballot measures and stuff like that, and that's super popular. Why not? You know what I mean? Like, why are people afraid of giving people the choice? You can have it by default. Like, okay, by default, it's going to just go to whatever, to this. Unless you go out of your way, you got to write it down, or you go online, or whatever the fuck else. Like, we can be progressive. We could be progressive. Doesn't have to mean motherfucking blue-haired, 56 different genders, shit like that. Like it don't need to mean that. We could do shit different, but we have to be genuine. Like, but you talk to people, and there's so many different layers of narrative, so many different layers of agenda, so many different layers of red tape, of strategy, of politics. I can't agree with this nigga because they didn't agree with this. So if I agree with them, I'm showing weakness. Like what do we're not even talking about what we should be talking about no more. I'm rambling. What are we? The point is, what really spurred it is, you know what I mean, I have a huge backlog. I have like a watch later And it's just, I literally maxed it out. It maxes out at 5,000, by the way, if y'all didn't know. So like I got that shit like maxed out, and it's just like a constant stream of just shit that I find or whatever the fuck else. You know what I mean? And I'm getting like way down into my watch later to where now it's like from 3-4 months ago, back when Charlie Kirk first got assassinated, and and I remember at the time I bookmarked you know what I mean, a lot of this stuff just because I wanted to get a diverse range of opinions on it. So I bookmarked a whole lot of people that I would see who would recommend me or whatever the fuck, and I wanted to get a diverse range of opinions. And recently I've been coming across like, you know what I mean, obviously, you know what I mean, I've come out with, these previous videos, these ANT podcasts, if that's what you want to call it. I've come out with a couple of these now. So, but pretty much over time, I've gotten more and more jaded on it. Where it's like, just with all the reactions from both sides of it. One side is on some conspiracy shit and is now using that to attack like the family of Charlie Kirk and everything like that, while the other side is just like they've just turned into a giant meme. They've kind of been emboldened, you know what I mean, where it's like, hey, if y'all step out of line from views we believe are acceptable, this is something that can happen to you. Like, people are usually literally using this as an example. You see, cancel culture works. You know what I mean? Like outright blood hungry. I don't know what other term to call that, but fascistic. Is that not how is that not fascistic to be like pro? Maybe there's a better term for it, but like, you know what I mean, pro murder of political dissidents, of your political enemies, murdering them. Like, what do we, you know what I mean? At least that's like wartime shit at the very least. You know what I mean? We could call it that, you know what I mean? But I don't know. But the point is, so my opinions have kind of matured on that over time. So now I'm going back watching people with, you know what I mean, a wider view of opinions back when this shit first happens, and I'm like a lot more I'm a lot more apprehensive. Like, I'm a lot less willing to hear these niggas out. But I found this one nigga, and he's obviously coming at it from a left-wing perspective, but yeah, I found it very refreshing. I didn't finish it because, like I said, this is kind of what I'm coming down to, is that I only have so much time for these type of niggas. But I got the gist of what he was saying, and I found it refreshing to a degree. It was funny because I'm like, oh, he had me in the first half. Like, I'm wondering what angle is this guy kind of taking with this. And what it was is he's talking like, oh, there's a whole lot of supposed liberals, supposed progressives, supposed left-wingers who are very performative right now, because y'all say that, okay, hate speech is violence, the pushing for these policies, believing in these things, this is violence, this is violent rhetoric, this will lead to violence, you're hurting people, this affects people, this is violence. So y'all say that, but then and I always find it funny what they say, and then he dies, something happens, he dies as if it was not an explicit targeted assassination. They just treat it as, it goes towards the whole worldview, because they just treat it as like, of course that was a foregone conclusion that would happen. That's how they kind of treat it, because they're being for real. It is violence. That's what this guy was saying, is like, if that's true, then it makes complete sense that this would happen, and why are y'all performing that y'all are sad about it, when last week you was talking how violent this guy was, how fascistic he was, how this guy's a Nazi. This is how we're supposed to treat these types of people. This is how we're supposed to treat fascists. What happened to punch a Nazi? You know what I mean? What happened to that? What happened to anti-fascists? What happened to Antifa? So they're saying this, and I'm like, wow, that's super refreshing, because that's kind of what I'm saying on the... I hate to be the horseshoe guy. I really don't know why horseshoe theory is like seen as such. Like, the people who are opposed to it are really opposed to it. Like, they see it like as if they see it as like offensive. You would even think that's like a viable school of thought. But regardless, that's kind of why I'm on my horseshoe thing, because it's not the same shit that I be saying. Like, that's the same shit that the rest of us are sensible, the quote unquote centrists, to put a term on it. I'm so apprehensive to put terms on it, because when you do, people are like, oh, okay, that's what this nigga, okay. Oh, he's on that side. Okay, well, I don't like that team. So now I know, the box to put him in, and, I can throw away everything he said, because I'm not a part of that team. That's not the team I root for. You know what I mean? But the sensible people, I would say, the non-violent people, is that not what we were saying? It's like, bro, y'all can't be out here. And is that not what I actually found it kind of unproductive at first, where the majority of the right wing, but so much of them were hunkering down. They was focusing so hard on the fact, like, hey, y'all call us Nazis, y'all call us fascists, y'all call us racist, y'all call us violent, y'all call us evil. Y'all keep calling us that, and then they go out and kill us, and then y'all want to act surprised. And I was looking at that at first as like non-productive. It's counterproductive because you know, I don't know. It was something was off-putting about just like, when you don't call us names, and now they want to kill it. You know what I mean? It's like, no, this is a targeted attack. You know what I mean? We should be looking at ideologies and not just, oh, well, it's not the name. It's the names themselves. The names didn't kill Charlie Kirk. It was a guy that, you know what I mean, took those names to heart, obviously, but there's also ideological reasons. The names are born out of ideology, not the other way around. Oh, because if we banned all of those words from anyone calling niggas fascist, racist, this, that, the other, like, if you ban all of these terms, then the ideology doesn't go away. It'll come up with different terms. You see, that's kind of the angle I was coming at it with. But is it not similar? What these guys are saying, both sides are pretty much saying this. So, and that's why I found it refreshing, because like it was finally, it's like, okay, I'm not like crazy. When you try and culturally make it normal to label any type of political dissent, any type of even slight political disagreement as outright being fascist or fascist adjacent. They have all these different types of fucking fascists and shit like that. You know what I mean? Like crypto fascist. I'm a fascist without even knowing. I'm a secret fascist. like when you're using all this terminology, why are we surprised when like some mentally challenged person takes it serious? They don't understand that y'all are using that like as a political cudgel, as an ideological weapon. They don't understand that. They just see it as a, oh, well, okay, you're calling him a Nazi, and we killed Nazis not that long ago. My granddad killed Nazis, so yeah, maybe we should go. I should just go, take care of that nigga right quick. Why not? Why not? What's the argument against it? There is none, and I'm glad. Like, I found it super refreshing to finally hear somebody say that. But it took somebody who's obviously much more radical. It took somebody further left to actually admit it's like, yes. Like, we mean it, though. Like, yes, it's good that Charlie Kirk died. Yes, we actually mean that. We want that. We want more of that. Yes, everybody who believes what he believes, it's the same. The same should happen. They'll do all types of gymnastics and talk around it. They're eating around all that crust and shit. Like, they'll try and I want to live in a world where violence doesn't exist. What that's actually saying, be real. Listen to that. Where is the niggas actually say when they say that? I want to live in a world with no political violence or any type of violence. What they're saying is, I want to live in a world where we don't have to kill these niggas for disagreeing with me. Is that not what they're saying? And I stopped watching this nigga's video. It was like a 30-minute thing. I watched like a third of it. I got 10 minutes through. But what actually made me stop was that, he was... this individual was critiquing another supposed leftist individual for, having sympathy for a dude's neck getting blown up in front of his wife and kid and traumatizing them for the rest of their life. He was showing compassion for that, and he was critiquing them. It's like, he said, like, shit, what the fuck did he say? He obviously did the whole spiel of like, oh, well, there's all types of people. All these Palestinians are dying. There's another tragedy here. Therefore, this tragedy is okay. Y'all didn't cry when such and such and such died. So I'm not going to cry when not, like, completely ignoring the fact that some of these are targeted assassinations and some of these are people caught up in wartime. Some of these are people who are resisting arrest. Some of these are people who are like get killed on accident. Like a car accident, like what, like, you know what I mean? Like these are not 1-to-1. But that aside, he says something. I'm not gonna be able to quote it, but he says something akin to like he says something like, oh, well, okay, that's why you shouldn't think that such and such and such. He was like essentially critiquing, blaming Charlie Kirk for this happening because he believed such and such. They're gonna have like their own ideological spin on it. That's like, oh, he's actually pro-violence and he's pro-gun. Maybe you shouldn't be so pro-gun. And it's really, I really don't think I'm extrapolating. I really don't think I'm reading too much into it. Is he not just straight up saying, well, you should have agreed with me then? Have my same politics then. You should have had my opinion if you don't want to go and get shot. Dude, what? This is where we're at now? Do y'all see why I'm like against this division? Right now, as I'm recording this, the controversy of the week is in Minnesota. There's like this ICE protest going on, and a lady got shot. A lady got shot and killed during that ICE protest by an ICE officer. And, as the details come out, what it's seeming like is, they call it lawful but awful. It's just like, she is a part of a group that kind of follows around these ICE agents, and I'm assuming that I don't know too much. I don't want to speak too much on it if I don't know, but I'm assuming gives off publicly puts out like the information for where they're at and the people they're investigating, and just kind of just makes their jobs harder and just kind of tails them around and everything like that. You know what I mean? And so this lady's kind of blocking half of the road, I guess, to kind of, in a way, to, to slow these guys down. Apparently the reason that ICE was there, like, they weren't actively investigating anybody, but like one of their vehicles got stuck in the snow, which I find kind of funny, because that's what that was what caused all of this. You wanted to prevent these niggas from getting their truck unlodged. That's what started all of this. But because of the ICE presence that was there, obviously this, I think it's called ICE Watch is the name of the organization, but obviously they're there and they're telling them, and one lady specifically is blocking off some of the street, half of it. She's like vertically, like facing the curb of the street, trying to let cars on and everything, let cars by her, seemingly waiting to see if there's an ICE car, and then maybe that's when she'll drive up or something. It's not necessarily clear where her goals specifically with blocking the road was. Some people are like, oh, she's trying to make a 3-point turn, but there's no there's no evidence of that with everything that's coming out. That there's not a lot to support that. It seems like she's been there and she was there on purpose. But the point, I'm getting into all the nitty gritty, but the point is, like, the more it's been made clear at this point, especially with the police body cam that came out, or not even body cam, he was just filming it with his own phone. But with the police footage that came out, I guess the agent footage, the footage from the ICE agent has come out, and it's pretty obvious that, they're going to try and detain this lady, and he's standing in front of the car, and then he sees the car kind of lurch at him, and he doesn't know, like, from the front angle you can't really see if the wheels are turning or not, or anything like that, so he just suspects that he might be, maybe she's trying to ram into him and everything. She actually does make contact with him, but it's obvious that she's trying to get out of there. They say that they're gonna they actually got out the car. She doesn't want to get arrested. She's trying to get out of there. This guy kind of gets in the way, and she's not trying to run the guy over. It's kind of the point. But the point is that ultimately didn't matter in the end, because from the agent's perspective, the car's lurching at him. They actually does make contact with him. She's trying to swerve off and everything. Maybe she's trying to run into him. So he shoots a couple times and then gets her, and then she dies. So people are using this, like, they're calling it like a new George Floyd, but the point is, like, I bring this up because it's just like the reason why I'm like, I don't think I have time for people who are obviously not seek truth, like they're not seeking truth. They're not truth seekers. I actually got into a little bit of a debate with one of my own friends on it and everything like that. And obviously, emotions were just, this is like right when it happened. And I said some things that probably I shouldn't have said as well, because I immediately assumed that this was just some protester, some delusional protester, and she had went and got herself killed. You know what I mean, for the cause, for a cause that ultimately will mean nothing, and she will mean nothing. Like her death will mean nothing to the cause ultimately. The news cycle will move on, and she just gave up her life for like an ideology and for a movement that you could argue is like it isn't even targeting the right people. You're targeting the officers. You should be targeting the administration. You should be targeting the lawmakers. You should be targeting the policy and everything. Perhaps I was a little bit crude, but I really don't like seeing people throw their lives away over nothing. You know what I mean? But the point is, after that, I went and did my own research. Did my own research, TM. I went and looked into it more and developed, my views on it, and informed myself a little bit more on it. And this is kind of what I'm getting at. Like, the truth actually really doesn't matter. Even if it comes out, all of the footage comes out, if there was a way to objectively prove, that, okay, this was a just shooting, this lady was in fact attempting to obstruct these agents, they were in their legal right to try and detain her, they did go about it through procedure. Like, if all of that comes out, if it's somehow objectively proven, nobody's gonna change their mind. They'll move on to the next thing. It's not about changing minds. It's about, like, it's like we're at war. People see this as war. Like, all right, we lost this battle, but we didn't lose the war. We didn't lose the fight. We gotta live to fight another day. We'll move on to the next one. We'll try and come up with another headline and try and make something happen out of that. And this is kind of what I'm talking about. Like, they're gonna throw her away. She's still gonna be dead. And because they couldn't use her death to justify, like, mass rioting, which will scare politicians into making knee-jerk reactionary policies in their favor, they're gonna move on to somebody else. They're gonna move on to somebody else. They say, "Oh, say their name," but, like, bro, that's a slogan. They only do that during protests. They're gonna make, like, a bill in her name where it's like I don't know, maybe, I don't fucking know, but the point is, it's just like, it's, the truth don't matter, and there's really, to some people, and I feel like people are being honest. I feel like people are being honest enough. You see what I'm saying? I think they'll be honest with you if you ask the right questions, if you know how to listen right, on whether or not they really are seeking truth, or if they're an ideologue. If they're fighting for an ideology, or are they fighting for truth? Is truth an ideology? Maybe, maybe not. That's another motherfucking debate. But let's just assume that it's not. I'm going to say that it's not. The truth is the truth. I think objective truth does exist. I think the objective truth can be complicated, but I do think it exists. I don't think, and that shouldn't be controversial. I hope that's not controversial. Is it controversial to think truth exists? Are we just all postmodernists now? There's no objective anything? Like, what? Are we being serious? Yeah, man. Like, I think people will be honest with you if you're honest. If you're honestly listening, and you're honestly asking the right questions, and you're honestly being true with yourself as well. Am I actually gonna get anything out of this conversation? Am I actually, even if this nigga's rage baiting me, like, is replying to this nigga, is it really gonna do me any good? You gotta be honest with yourself. I think it's been made clear. I think it's been made crystalline clear at this point that there's really just a population of demons among us, living in the shadows. We have vampires among us that are fighting for dead ideologies. They'll be honest. That's why I made this, because I found somebody who was being honest. They want revolution. Whatever they need, whatever they gotta do, whatever bodies drop, whoever they lose in the process, it's worth it ultimately for the revolution that they think they want. I'm not a revolutionary, dog. Like, I don't like, this isn't the world we live in. We ain't living in the same worlds. If you think the fact that somebody doesn't want somebody else's kid to get access to puberty blockers, which could have the permanent effects, on them later on, You gonna take some of these hormones, these things can make you sterile. At 19, I'm sterile at 19, irreversible. Did I know that when I was 16 and I started getting on them and nobody told me that? Like there's all types of legitimate reasons to be against this type of shit. So because we disagree on whether or not we should be giving teenagers puberty blockers, we need revolution? Dude, what? Seriously? Do you know what that means? Like, you understand what that means, right? That means that you want to kill me. That means that I'm going to have to try and kill you, and you're going to have to try and kill me over puberty blockers for kids. Well, it's not just puberty blockers for kids. It's healthcare. Okay, because we have a really inoptimal, super corporatized, super capitalist healthcare system, but still with a very generous social safety net of Medicare and Medicaid and all types of, localized relief programs. Like, because we have all of that, we need revolution so that so we expand that social safety net. We want to expand the social services so it's just all of it instead of just a lot of it. Isn't like the majority of the federal budget every single year like on Medicare and Medicaid and like VA programs and stuff like that? It's like on social programs and Social Security. It's literally Social Security. Like, is that not literally the majority of the budget every single year? That in the military? Is it more than the military? I don't know. I'm not looking it up. I don't actually care that much. But I'm pretty sure that's true. I'm pretty sure that's some degree of true. So we need revolution, because instead of spending 100% of the federal budget on healthcare, we only spend like 45% of it. We only spend like half of it instead of all of it. We need revolution. Seriously? We need free college, free education. Okay, because the like 10, 11, 12 years of free public school that we already have, like, that wasn't enough. I think that we should just culturally, I'm all for, like, it is a trap. The college trap was 100% a thing. Go and put yourself in 6 figures of student debt, of federal debt that you won't pay off until you retire, to go and get a degree to get this job that can help you so you can start paying it. Like, well, I don't think it makes sense. But you can disagree with the system, the infrastructure of it, without just revolution. There's already community. They was giving away, in the place I live, it was actually in an adjacent county, but they were giving away community college for free. I think it was only for like kids who was in high school for like the COVID years. I don't know if that applied to literally everybody, but they was giving away college tuition. That's a college. That's college. The community college is college. It's higher education. They was giving that away for free. There's all types of like there's a whole types of community, local, small colleges, technical schools that are super accessible. They're very, very accessible. But no, it has to be free or revolution. Like, what? Dude. Who are we even talking to? Like, are we being serious? Are these serious individuals? We take these people serious? Why? This is what I'm talking about. This is why I'm not again. Like, that's a part of the reason why this, like, being such a fringe radical is so cringe to me, because it is like, it's actually just like, it doesn't make sense. It's goofy to me. I don't know. My fault if there's revolutionaries out there. Oh, but they're killing black people. It's white. The amount of police officers who shoot and kill unarmed black men is like not even in the double digits every year to year. It's like 12 maybe. It's such a small amount of police interactions, even police shootings. It's a small amount. And then you go and look at those cases, because that's a small enough sample size where you can look at case to case to case to case. The vast majority of the time, it's like, there's a reason you don't hear about it. It feels like you hear about it all the time. When's the last police motherfucking shooting besides this one, which isn't police? This is like these are federal agents. If you want to say that's the same, then I guess, but it's definitely not. When's the last time, law enforcement, the last police involved shooting that you heard about? Like I said, this is in the big 2-6. The big 2-6 just started. When's the last one that you heard about? It was that lady that tried throwing the boiling water on the dude and shot her in the face. I'm pretty sure that guy like is in prison now. Like I don't think, or is the court is still going through the court, but like I don't like he's not winning that case, by the way. But that was like when? Was that not like in August of last year? That was like 6 months ago. Like how often do you even hear about it? They don't break through to like mainstream news to become like a big national news headline because they don't actually happen all that much. And when they do, they're not always, you know what I mean? Like they don't got the juicy details that people actually probably want. It's like, okay, this is like a crazy person that tried to attack this officer and tried to take his gun or some shit like that. So the nigga shot. Like it's so justifiable that you can't make a news headline out of it. And this is kind of why I'm getting at. There's profit. There's a profit incentive. There's money to be made out of dividing people. Social media does it. Mainstream media does it. Local media can even do it. They're not opposed to it. Everyone has a vested interest in trying to divide us as much as humanly possible. Like, because of that, because of those 12 black people who died, most of which were probably justified, and they were unarmed technically, and got shot and killed by police. Because of those dozen or so, we need revolution. Like, it's dumb. It's all dumb. It's all dumb. It doesn't actually make sense. People are trying to convince you. People are using spin. People are using rhetoric. People are using narrative to try and convince you that this shit makes sense. It's not that dire. If you're living in a Western country, you're living in the best countries of all time that have ever existed. At the best time to live in those countries of all time. You're the most privileged people on the planet. We're the most privileged people on the planet. We're the most privileged people in human history, in existence. Oh my, look at this Uncle Tom. Look at this nigga. Look at this nigga, like the status quo. It's not about status quo. We can make shit better. We need to make shit better. We should make shit better. But it doesn't just mean revolution. Just tear it down. And then what? Tell me, and then what? What do you do once you tear it down? What happens when you get the revolution that you want? What happens on the next day? What happens 24 hours later? Tell me. Somebody tell me. Nobody thinks that far. Nobody thinks that far ahead. What are you gonna do? Is it like a parliamentary system? Are we gonna go back to representatives, a council of representatives, or some shit like that? Like, what do we do? Are we even gonna have access to like to like these telecommunication companies? Are we even gonna be able to get the message out? How do we communicate with each other? How do we organize? If you on top of the entire system, who's to say that you're just gonna have access to these things? Who's gonna say you're gonna have access to running water and electricity? Who's to say that that's just a given? All of that will happen, but Capitol Hill will be blown up and they'll all be dead, and every single representative will be dead. Like what? It just makes no sense. I just don't like, bro. It doesn't. What do you do? What does the next month look like? What does the next year look like? How is this better? When will it start to look like something approximating what we had before? Like a civilized society. Like, when will it start looking like that again? The next 10 years, 20 years, 30, 40? Is it going to be in my lifetime? Will the people in their 20s, will the people in their teenage years, 20s, maybe even 30s, who are alive for the revolution that these people say they want, will I be able to be like, will I see it in my lifetime when we can get back to civilization? This has become like an anti-revolutionary motherfucking rant when it's not supposed to be, because we're living in the midst of like this shit is happening. It was in Myanmar where it just fucking happened or some shit like that, the Philippines or some shit. Because obviously it's been happening in all these African countries, although those are perhaps not the best example because they're not better off. And like the vast majority of them have not been better off since the quote unquote colonizers have left. I'm getting into all these other things, these divisive topics. I'm not trying to like The point is, I'm focusing so hard on trying to make it look stupid for a reason. Because at the end of the day, these people don't even know. They're doing their winks and their nods and their dog whistles and their coded language to try and rile you up, to get you to want to murder your neighbor. But then once you do that, they're not going to be there to bail you out. That's why I'm against. They're ready to get you to go and try and kill yourself for the cause, but they don't have any plan for the cause that they say that they want. Your death will be meaningless. And that's not the reason, by the way, that you shouldn't be out on some violent shit. It's not because if the death was meaningful, you still shouldn't do it, because it's just not like we don't live in that time, in that day and age. Like it's not that serious. To keep it simple, it really is not that serious. But you know, like, bro, what is serious is that this shit is real life. This shit is real life. I can disagree with you on Twitter, and then you could try and find where I live. Like, we're trying to make that normal now. And then the next day, I go out to a protest, and then someone's trying to kill me. Is you not the nigga who said this? Do you not think this? Like, bro, we people are out and right. They're saying it now. They're open now, which is a good thing, I suppose. This is why free speech is actually good, by the way, because now people can say these things, can say these radical things, and we can point to that. Like, this is what niggas think. But niggas are outright saying, hey, if you don't want to get shot, you should agree with me. With my politics. Maybe you should agree with my politics next time. That's not good. Nobody wants that. Do you want that? I don't think the vast majority of people actually want that. I just don't think they know that these cool, suave, these people on social media, they got the cool lighting. They make the cool video essays. They don't know that this is what these people actually want. They don't know that you can even find, like, they've let it slip. These people let the mask slip sometimes. That they're agitprov. They're propagandists. They're making content to push a message, not to push truth. They might think that message is true, but it doesn't. But it's not mutually exclusive. They'll admit it doesn't need to be true. It doesn't actually literally need to be true. It speaks to truth. You ever heard that? You heard that? Like you usually see that. Was it not? Like, I think it was AOC. I'm trying to think of what case that was. There was something that came out, some, controversy, but it ended up being like a hoax. And it's like, oh, it doesn't matter if it's actually true. It speaks to truth. Like, what? So you could just never be wrong? You just can't be right wing at all? Even a little bit? I can't want lower taxes? I can't afford those taxes. No. Hold this bullet then. I don't know. I'm rambling. Ain't no one listening to this, dog. I gotta go to work soon, actually. I just knew I needed. I'm trying this new, like, if I'm feeling some type of way and I get heated and I'm feeling passionate about it, that's when I should turn on the software. That's when I should grab the mic and just start yapping. I feel like it's better that way than trying to set time aside and collect my thoughts and try and really come at it in a really organized type of way. Like, maybe I should just motherfucking spit, bro. Be more fucking genuine about it. I don't know. Alright, that's it. In the year of our Lord 2026, I will no longer be giving any time towards people I believe are not ultimately trying to seek the truth of any matter or all the matters. And I think that's what you should do too. I think that should just be a new way of living going forward. You know what I mean? Maybe it's just like an age thing. I'm like in my mid 20s. I'm officially in the pushing 30 club. So maybe it's just like an age thing. Like, the older you get, like the less time you want to argue with niggas and shit like that. Like, perhaps that's an element to it as well. But at the same time, like, it's not particularly like in an online setting. It's just never, and not even in an online setting. This is what I be talking about, because even in the offline setting, they're informed by the online setting. You know what I mean? Like it's just not useful. How is it useful? I don't think it's useful. I don't think, like, y'all both just end up getting mad at each other. Y'all could be friends, but y'all over here motherfucking calling each other names and everything like that. Nigga, we've been friends for like a decade plus. And this one issue is what's gonna motherfucking end the friendship? You know what I mean? Like why? Is it that serious? It's not that serious. I promise y'all it's not that serious. Whatever it is that y'all arguing that y'all think is that serious, it's not that serious. This is all assuming that the people listening to this are living in like Western first world countries, because in other places it might be more serious. But we're not talking about them right now. That's a different type of person. That's a different type of person and a different type of place. You should be glad that you are not in one of those places. You know what I mean? Like let's just give less time, bro. I've done it. I've done it my whole life, my whole politically aware life. I've tried to sit down, talk to these people, understand. That was the whole thing. It's like, oh, I'll talk to anybody. I just want to understand what people. I understand it now. To use a term, I think I understand it now. I think I'm good. I understand it enough. That's not to say like, it's like I'm not gonna go and research shit and try and figure out shit and read up on it. It's not saying that, but it's like trying to figure out why a nigga believes some shit, like when they're not giving you the same courtesy. That's really the crux of it. That's why I'm talking about truth seeking, because if they're not trying to really figure out why you believe some shit and they're just looking for better ways to slander you and for what is the more appropriate slanderous term to call you as a low-key dog whistle for other deranged people to try and motherfucking commit violence on you type shit, like why are we, what the fuck? If it's not going both ways, then it shouldn't be going at all. That's really the crux of it. If they would not give you, if they're not trying to figure out the truth with you, then you shouldn't be trying to figure it out with them. Go find someone else, man. There are people out there. There are truth seekers out there. There are people. I hate how motherfucking co-opted all these terms are. I'm just talking about like, what is the truth? Where are the facts? Let's investigate this. Let's figure this out. What's the best outcome? Let's figure out the best way of doing things. Like, that's all I'm talking about. With this case that just came out, there is truth. There is a truth to it. This Minnesota shit. The truth is a lot of things at the same time. A lot of things happen at the same time. That's the truth of the matter. The officers allegedly gave conflicting orders to this lady. Told her get out of the car and also to get out of there at the same time. She was flustered. She was confused. She doesn't want to get arrested. They start running. They walk up aggressively. They try and get in her car, try and open up the door. She's trying to get the fuck out of there. She backs up a little bit. She turns. She's trying to hit the curb. She's probably trying to avoid the officer even a little bit, but not enough. She might not even know the officer's fucking there. She's adrenaline. The other niggas adrenaline. Oh shit, is this lady trying to motherfucking run me over? They're all agitated. They know this ICE watch has been on their ass the whole time. They're just doing their jobs. These niggas are trying to make it harder for them to do their jobs. They're jeering at them. They're calling them names and shit like that. They're taunting them. They're motherfucking trying to annoy the shit out of them and everything like that. They're already not in a position where they want to give these niggas any benefit of the motherfucking down, shit like that. There's a lot of things happening at the same time. She's trying to turn at the same time and she's moving forward. The other niggas trying to move out the way at the same time and shit like that. Like, you motherfucking shoots one off. It's adrenaline. He shoots a couple off. The truth is, a lot of things happen at the same time. That's the truth. The truth isn't motherfucking she was trying to do a three-way turn, they shot her. That's not the truth. The truth isn't she was trying to run over the officer, so he shot her. No, that's not the truth either. She's some deranged lunatic just tried to run her over. Like, no, nobody thinks that. Some people probably think that. Some fucking stupid people probably think that. But that's not the point. You see what I'm saying? I don't know. I said I was going to get off. We're going to get off. Stop giving time to these niggas. You see why? This is why. Because it takes you this long. I got to get on here and motherfucking waste my breath, waste my energy, waste my motherfucking time. I should be getting ready. I should be fucking take a shower before fucking work. And shit like that. I'm wasting my motherfucking time trying to fucking deconstruct this shit for my own fucking mental health and the time that it took you to just say one stupid ass shit on Reddit that went viral. And now we all have to contend with it. I'm out of here, man. I'm sorry. My fault.